pleased to present for your consideration.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Jabberbox Podcast, episode 31. I'm one of your hosts, Andy Bond, and with me are the icy blues of the desert, the former devil himself, Mr. Daniel Singleton.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
If you're joining in for the very first time, then you should know that this show is about the two of us as we ramble on through pop culture topics such as, but not limited to, games, movies, shows, and really whatever else we want to jabber about. You can get the show over on youtube.com or your favorite podcast service by searching Dandy Digital or Jabberbox, hitting that subscribe button, and leave us a review even. If you like what you hear and want to be part of the show, head on over to patreon.com/dandydigital. Let's go ahead and get on with the show. We're recording a little bit early. We're doing this on a Wednesday instead of a Friday.
Spice it up a bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, life is getting in the way a little bit, so we're gonna roll with the punches.
Yeah, I got someone for jury duty on Friday. Boo.
Boo. Do your service though, I guess that's what they say, right?
Sure.
Maybe, right? You don't even know if you're gonna be doing that. You just have to go to see if you're being called.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, man. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it. As we generally like to start the day or our show with Crumble, man. So it's another light week for Crumble, but it was a good week, I actually think.
Sure, you can think that.
Not the best week, but it's a good week.
It was an okay week. My highest cookie was 23.
Oh, yeah. See, I haven't even had a chance to rank mine yet. I actually just had my third part of the cookie, right? Right before we jumped on the show because I realized I hadn't tried that yet. So
hot thing, right? Fresh cake.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say I was impressed. It was my last cookie, right, for the week to try. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. That's why I delayed it. But I did like it. So first up, so they had the birthday cake Valentine, right? Sugar cookie with the vanilla and the hearts. That one was exactly what you think it would be. It matched, kind of like last week when we were talking about those, like the store-bought cookies that were soft. Yep, that's exactly what that type of cookie was to me.
And I've noticed a trend. I feel like the birthday cake cookie is their filler cookie when they don't have anything else to put in there.
I think so too. So I don't know if I want to continue with the birthday cake ones once I see it, because Valentine's Day, it's just red heart sprinkles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't bring anything else to it. I thought they were going to have some sort of strawberry to it, and sadly, no.
Nope, just red sprinkles.
So I think that one is just going to be kind of rolled into birthday cake. I'm not even going to give it its own ranking at that point.
Fair enough.
The second one that we had was, now I will say, I will go for these every fucking time, right? So it's the sugar cookie, which generally gets its own rank, like a stacked ranking, right? Or a non-stacked ranking, right? But it had the Mother's, Valentine's, X's and O's. And I like Mother's so much that it actually does get a different ranking from just a sugar cookie.
No, it is different than just a plain sugar cookie. The base is obviously a sugar cookie, but it's different. I wasn't a huge fan. It's a good cookie, and if you enjoy it, obviously, I recommend you go get it. It just felt really low effort.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seemed on par from Mother's cookies. I knew what I was getting. What I like about this cookie is it's a sugar cookie that they've baked the sprinkles in to. You know what I mean? It's like they grabbed all the Mother's cookies out of the bag and all the sprinkles that had fallen off the cookies that are on the bottom of the bag. They tossed that into their batter, which is baked into the cookie, which I liked. So it gave it that crunch a little bit. So that's where I stood. That's going to be my highest ranking one of the three for sure for this week. And then finally, there was the chocolate caramel. And that one is the one I had today, just a couple moments ago. And I was actually impressed by that one.
That was my highest one of the week as well.
Yeah. So what really surprised is I like the chocolate cookie I thought it was just like a base chocolate cookie with a caramel block on top of it that's melted. And it actually had like a little mousse in the middle, like almost like a chocolate chip. It wasn't a lot. but it was here and there throughout the cookie when I tried it. And I think that's what is giving it, a thumbs up for me.
Yes. So it was the chocolate chips that were in the chocolate cookie that sent it high for me. Not like top 15 high, but
right, but higher than it should have probably if it didn't have that.
Because it added that it took away the dryness of their chocolate cookies.
Yes.
And so it hit well on the tongue.
And so before I actually tried it, I nuked it in the microwave because it's supposed to be a warm cookie, right? And I found with like some of the other cookies that have the s'mores cookie, specifically that has the marshmallow, or any other cookie that has a caramel on the top, like a drizzle, you need to microwave it or heat it up in some fashion so that it's not super sticky. So it's less of a toffee and more of a creamy caramel. So that's what I did, which also heated up the chocolate chips on the inside, which, I mean, fuck yeah.
Yes. And so I did also get the chocolate strawberry cheesecake cookie this week.
Okay. See, I've had it. That's a duplicate for me.
I have had it. Was a duplicate for me too, but I needed to fill up my 4-count box. So I said, fuck it. Let's try it one more time. Because it was kind of low on my list last time, right? So it was like 100. I forgot. I deleted it off my rankings and moved it. It was like 100 and something. And now it is 39 overall.
Wow.
But they also added chocolate chips to the cookie, which helped that cookie a lot as well.
Okay.
So it was different than last time. So I'm glad that I was just like, screw it. Let's give it one more shot. Because it went up considerably in my overall rankings. Nice.
Okay. I see what you did. I am still looking forward to the fucking lava cake one. I mean, February is a short month. Still waiting on that cookie.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Don't fucking disappoint me. You guys highlighted it for this month. I will say that we got the cookie cutter this time. And that shit is so essential to these fucking, I just press it down, boom, 4. I love it.
Interesting. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. I will say too.
It's only $5 too, and they had it on the counter. That's how we know. I think they have them, but once they put it on the counter, we're like, oh shit, we need that, and we just tossed it on the order.
I've also been trying. We don't talk about this. We only talk about the cookie, but I've been trying a different one of their ice cream flavors every week too, and they're all really good.
Yeah, I may try that once the cookies start tapping out.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I will say I made a fatal fucking error this week. And on my way home from work on Monday, I was on autopilot and I was just like, okay, I'm going to stop and get cookies on my way home. Little did I realize that it's fucking Valentine's Day. And it was
how busy were they?
It was fucking, dude. There was a couple people in there like ordering cookies, but that place was filled to the brim with angry DoorDash drivers.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I would say
we don't.
There was probably 12 or 15 of them.
Wow. I mean, it's Valentine's Day, guys. Like, what did you fucking think was going to happen? To those drivers, like. And probably to the people that were ordering it too. Like, you have to expect it's going to be busy, so your order's not coming right away. If you're that worried about it, you should have went out and got them that morning.
Bingo.
Yeah. So,
well, I think I can kind of understand why those drivers were angry too, because they were so busy that some of those drivers were waiting like 20, 30 minutes.
Get another job then.
And then, they're not getting paid for that.
I get it.
More deliveries, yeah.
But
like they're going to get paid for that one, but it's not like the more.
But you're right. You're costing it because you get the half hour.
Right.
Get a real job then if you're that worried about money and your time.
Good
what I mean? I understand people are doing it for the extra cash, but a lot of people, that's like their thing because they feel like they don't want to go and sit in an office, which I get.
I'm going to be my own boss.
Yeah. So I get, but you also have to understand
that can happen.
That's going to happen. You're at the mercy of everybody else. That's the cost of being your own boss. doing your own business. That's no different than starting up your own restaurant.
It's no different than starting up your own podcast.
Exactly. We're at the mercy of the people, whether they listen to us or not, support it or not. Some days, like even the listener counts, some days they're lower on some episodes as opposed to other. It's to their whim, and you have to understand that.
It's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Ooh, it's the way the crumble cookies.
I had to fucking do it. And rarely does something line up like that for me.
Right. So that's it for the cookies. What else? What have you been up to? I know it's been a short time since we've spoke.
Yeah. So not a lot, just work. I did finish my Titanic Lego set, and that thing is a big boy.
It looks badass.
It is amazing. The level of detail on that is incredible, and that thing is hefty. I think I didn't weigh it, but I would not be surprised if it came in between 25 and 30 pounds.
Oh yeah, Legos, they definitely have a size to it. I finally built the Starship that I had, right? And while that's not nearly as big, or the count is like a fraction of what you did, that still has weight to it. So Legos are, you don't think about it, right? They're tiny little bricks, but you put them all together, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they add up. I know that the shipping weight for that set was like 53 pounds.
Holy shit.
So it would not surprise me if it was that like 30-pound mark.
Right.
The actual assembled kit. Now I'm working on the globe set.
I'm jealous about that one. But I will say Lego did actually announce 2 days ago. I've been keeping an eye on the Lego website. That's why I asked if they charge for pre-orders right away.
Yep.
And when I say they, Lego teamed up with PlayStation, and they're doing a tall neck robot dinosaur thing from the game Horizon Zero Dawn.
Interesting.
This thing looks so fucking cool, man. I'm very excited about it. I've been refreshing the website to make sure that I could try to get my hands on it. It's only gonna be $80. What I like about it is it looks very detailed, right? For a smaller set, it's only gonna be $80, right? It only has 1,222 pieces, but I like that it comes on a platform, right? As opposed to just being like the creature itself standing on its own. It comes on a circular platform that has the grass and like foliage around it, as well as a little minifig of the main character that you play as in that game running around its feet.
Nice. Like I've got some pre-orders myself.
So I'm waiting for that to go so I can get that. I was like, that's cool, because I know Mario did it. There's a Sonic set I want to get, but this.
Oh, the Green Hill Zone.
Yeah. So I want to get that, but I've been right now. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on for the tall neck set.
Yeah, I pre-ordered the new Star Wars helmets to round out my collection because I have all the other ones, so I'm going to keep going, obviously. And then I also pre-ordered Mjolnir, Thor's hammer.
That I do want to get that. I should pre-order that one. That's a full-size hammer.
Oh yeah, it's large.
Yeah, and it comes on a base, which I really like, and you can put the minifigs of the three characters like Thor and such inside the hammer.
Yes.
It's super fucking dope.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
I may pre-order it. When is that one coming out again?
It's listed for March 1st, I believe.
Oh. Yeah, I'll probably just buy it when it comes out then. Cool, man.
So what's going on with you? What's up with you in your life?
We went to a comedy show over the weekend. It was Saturday night, I believe, which we totally forgot it was Valentine's Day weekend. We don't celebrate Valentine's, right?
Yeah, we don't either.
Like, Mary will get me a box of chocolates because she knows I like candy, and it's just an excuse for me to have candy, on Valentine's Day. But I don't really get her anything for that. What I do is I'll give her an Easter basket. So it's kind of like one of those things where she gets me a couple like goofy things for Valentine's. I'll get her a couple goofy things for Easter. And like, that's our thing. So we don't like going out. We actually stay in, but we had tickets to go see Nick Guerra, which you and I have seen. And Mary and I try to see him every time that he comes in because he's really funny. I'm actually going to reach out to him. I didn't want to give him a card there, just social distancing. So I may reach out to him like on Instagram or something. But so we saw that. Really fucking funny. The whole set was funny. Like the openers even were really funny. So we did that.
There was no drunk fucking lady in the front row ruining the show. Nope. There were some bros there that we thought were going to be a problem, but they actually weren't. That's good.
So so we did that, and then Sunday when Mary went out to brunch with some friends of hers, I decided I wanted to clean up a little bit, and I fucking pulled my hamstring. And it's a fucking funny story how I did it. I folded up a blanket and then I tried to put that blanket away.
Hilarious.
Right? So that's how I know I'm old. So I folded up, I bent over to put it in like the ottoman that we have, right? That once they're folded up. And as soon as I bent over to put the blanket in there, I felt my hamstring like pull. and it felt like, I don't know if it actually made a popping sound or if I heard the sound inside my, like when you hear it inside you, it sounded loud.
Yes.
But it felt like somebody just ran right up to me and they fucking Charlie horsed me in the back of the fucking leg. It hurt. Like I fucking dropped. It hurt so fucking bad. And like I can still feel it anytime I try to actually bend over to pick something up, or like if I'm trying to grab my shoes or anything like that. So it's not like I think the first day I was limping a little bit and I was trying to stay off it. It has gotten better, but I can still feel it. So I'm just still trying to baby it a little bit. So I've been dealing with that for the week, which sucks. I was like, we were just talking about how we need to start training for the rugged maniac, and then I fucking hurt my leg.
Take some Motrin, change your socks, and stay hydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah. That cures everything.
Some Robitussin. Just pour it on the outside of it.
If you're feeling like a pussy, sure.
Yeah. So that's what I've been up to. But that's been pretty much it. Like I said, it's hasn't been a very eventful couple of days since then.
Gotta take it easy, rest it up.
Yeah, for life. I will say I did. I have been playing, so we'll go ahead and just jump right into it. Right?
What?
I did. I've been playing the Triangle Strategy on the Nintendo Switch. So they have the prologue chapter demo that's out, which is the first 3 chapters that will carry over once the game comes out. And I will say, I'm about like 4 hours into it. I'm really liking it. It's a tactics game, and the story is pretty interesting. I'm already becoming invested in it, where like certain characters will show up and they're saying certain things. They're not necessarily evil. There's certain ones I'm like, you're going to be a problem. And then there's other characters that are saying they say certain things in their dialogue. I'm like, you're going to be a problem later. I don't know how or for who, but you're going to be a problem. There's for example, one character was actually talked about, everyone, he's the best knight or warrior or whatever. I forget his title is, right? He's a spear wielder and he's the best. He's winning the tournaments. He's the best in this country and nobody's ever beaten him, which means he's going to become a villain and I'm going to be the one that beats him, by the end of the story. So if you haven't played it, I do recommend doing that.
And you said that's on the Switch?
Yep. Yeah, free demo. So, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you do like it, then your progress moves over when the game comes out and you decide to buy it.
Which is always awesome.
Right. I love when they do that. Like I said, we kind of went over that a little bit last time. So, it's neat. So give it a try,
Perhaps. It's going to depend on how busy I am this weekend.
Yeah. But I've also been playing Cyberpunk 2077.
Again?
So I played through the prologue of that particular game on the PlayStation 4, and then I fucked up because I was curious, so we could talk about it, how the return process went, because Project CD Red was talking about doing returns for the game. So I
Right.
wanted to see how easy it was or how hard it was and what it all entailed, yada yada. And
It was
then
pretty easy.
it just took, it was so easy that I didn't even realize I completed it until they said thanks, and then they locked me out of the game. So they did come out yesterday with a comparison trailer for Xbox One, Xbox, Series X, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. They gave a shitload of updates, right? They're like, here's essentially what this update is going to do and what it fixes. And man, like, I can send you the article. It's on IGN. You can find it. It is a lengthy article, and it's, one of those things like when we do our like last week for Nintendo Direct, how I put it on the doc. It's like that of everything, and they break it up into sections. So it has a lot of updates. So I decided to pick it up. It came out yesterday, and it's now the native additions for Xbox Series S and Series X and PlayStation 5. So I'm actually further now this round than I was initially. I haven't seen anything that was glitching aside from like the couple whatever, like a car got bumped into another car, and so it started like jittering on the sidewalk a little bit until it got to the stoplight, and then it corrected itself. Which, I mean, you're gonna find that shit in like Fallout and Skyrim and shit.
Every
so
huge world game.
yeah,
like
so
that's gonna happen.
I'm not marking that against like, oh, that's a cyberpunk issue. Let me write on that. So everything's been corrected. When I did the character creation, because I'm playing as a female character first, so I designed her the same way. Her tits aren't clipping out of her shirt, which they did in the first one. I have pictures somewhere where it's like she's wearing a tank top, but her tits are just coming right outside the shirt, So it looks like it's not quite working as it should be. So that's fixed. I haven't had any issues with the earlier dialogues. I know that when I first initially played it, there was a cutscene where the NPC that I was talking to was doing two sets of dialogue, so I was kind of stuck in like a loop for a little bit. I actually went through that scene without any issues, so far it's doing better than when I played it on the PlayStation 4 for the hour or so that I was able to play before I accidentally returned it. So
it's what the game should have been when it was released.
Exactly. They do have two different performance modes. They have like the 60 frames per second performance mode at 4K, which looks really nice. That's how I'm playing it. I did try it out on the 30 frames per second 4K mode that had ray tracing, and that looked just as beautiful as well. It's obviously less smooth because you're cutting the frame rates in half, but the lighting effects and everything, and the shadows look phenomenal. So it's really however you want to play it. So far I'm liking it more than I did when it first came out.
Okay, then. And I know that huge update just got pushed out. I was considering looking into playing it.
Yeah. So
maybe, perhaps.
If it comes to Game Pass, definitely check it out.
Oh, if it's on Game Pass, almost certainly.
Yeah. So, but I will say that I started off as the street kid, as opposed to the corporate person and the nomad. So you can start off three different ways. They kind of, as like the prologue, I think, sets you up differently, and then it gives you certain skills that are different. But essentially, the story is the same, no matter which path you go. So it just really depends on how you want to see your character. So I started off as the street kid, so I have the street cred, and I know what my character is a little more inclined to know what's happening in the underground, as opposed to a nomad who lives outside the city, out in the desert, and the corporate, jerk off that lives up in high towers and the fancy luxury apartments. So really depends. I do plan on doing the corporate one next. In my next playthrough, once I complete this, not necessarily right after, but my initial idea that I wanted to do was do street kid, corporate, and then eventually do the nomad, desert people. So we'll see.
To be determined.
Have you been playing anything?
Just a few rounds of PUBG. I haven't really had much time to sit down and play much, sadly. I had some good progress going with Legendary Edition Mass Effect, and I'm at one of those points now because I'm trying to do the highest difficulty run through.
Yeah.
Insane. That's what it's called. So I'm trying to do the insane run through, and there's this part where I'm just stuck. I'm stuck. I can't go back to the ship, so I have to finish it if I want to continue. I can always drop the difficulty down, but then I won't get the achievement, and it'll bother me forever. So
right.
Eventually I'll get through it. I've been stuck a few times, so this is not my first time. It's not my first rodeo with this in Mass Effect 2. So eventually I'll get through it. It's just going to take some time, and it's kind of a drag.
Yeah, you kind of step away, and then it kind of clicks in your brain later when you do it. Like, oh, I could totally do it this way. One of those types of things, which will give you like the edge over.
It doesn't help either that a lot of these areas are infinite spawn, and you have limited ammo on the highest difficulty. It just feels like it's artificially difficult. Not actually, like there's not really anything I can do skill wise that will get me over those kinds of humps. Like
right.
If it's infinite enemies and I have limited ammo, it doesn't matter how perfectly I shoot. I will run out of ammo.
Which part are you on?
It is where I go to get the Krogan in the pod.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so I'm fighting the final boss. And there's mechs everywhere. It's just a giant pain in the ass.
Yeah. Trying to get grunt.
Yep. So it is what it is. No big deal.
Yeah.
I'll get through it eventually. I just haven't had a ton of time in the past week or so to like sit down and give it the old college try.
Right. Well, it'll click. Once you've stepped away and you're like, oh, and come back, you're like, it's one of those things where like I'll break it, you'll break the controller or something like that. And then you come back, like 2 weeks later, and then you go right through it without a single fucking hitch.
Mm-hmm.
God,
those days of breaking controllers and shit, I hope that's behind me. I really hope that's behind me at this point. Like, I still get frustrated. I still get frustrated. Yeah, right. Now with this new TV. I still get frustrated playing games, of course, but it's not what it was.
Yeah.
I get far more angry at traffic. I have re-channeled my anger.
Right. You need to tell everybody to go fuck themselves.
There are days I come home and I can't speak because my voice is gone.
Cool, man. So I don't know if there is a whole lot of news for Xbox.
I mean, there's it's not Xbox. It's more like entertainment. It's involving the Halo series. It's not really Xbox directly.
Yeah. So what's happening on the Halo front?
They have already renewed the Paramount Plus Halo series for a second season.
That's ballsy.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I understand. So they did come out. I did see an article about it where they said it makes sense for them to go ahead and try to do something that didn't necessarily retell Master Chief's story as we know it in the games and books, because while they want new people to come into it, they also want veterans of the series to come into it. And what's the point of watching it if you already know the story? So I understand it.
People that are longtime fans of Halo, I feel, would watch something of a story they already know if it's really good, if it's well done, because the story is what a lot of people like. So why wouldn't they? Like, people are still to this day replay Halo 1. So clearly it has a draw.
Yeah.
So if you're able to do a live action show, even if it's retelling the story, I don't think it'd be that big of a hit. And it would serve double because you would have new people being introduced to it. They'd be like, wow, this is amazing. This is what the game is. Like, this is what the game storyline is. I want to go play that. But that's not going to be the case with a new, fresh story that's not canon.
That makes sense. But I mean, it might be one of those things too. Like when you're watching it, like something might be done like that you might like better. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh, I like how they did that more than I initially liked it during the game or the book. Like, oh, I remember like in book 3 or whatever, they did that, and it seems cooler how they did it now. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the trailer looks pretty good, but most trailers look really good, and then the product itself, may or may not be.
Right.
So I'm going to reserve judgment until I see it.
Yeah.
Because I've heard some rumors about some stuff, but again, they're only rumors. You can't trust everything you read on the internet. That's a quote from Abraham Lincoln. I read it on the internet.
Yeah, we'll see for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that's like it's been pretty slow. The major things that did come out for games that I saw. So first off, I did sign up for the Nintendo Switch Sports like trial play that's happening this weekend.
Yep.
The interesting thing about this is that Nintendo, as they do frequently, likes to shoot themselves in the fucking foot. Right?
A tradition as old as time.
So the online playtest will be happening Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're going to go about 45 minutes each. They're doing it one time on Friday, 7 to 7:45. I don't know if I'll be able to hit the Friday one. Saturday, you're doing it at 3 a.m. our time, 11 a.m. our time, and then 7 o'clock again our time in the afternoon for 7. And then it'll be 3 a.m. again on Sunday for 45 minutes. So it's like, it's 5 times we get to try it out. So I may actually set the alarm to try it out.
Get up at 2:40 and get ready.
Yeah. So it's already downloaded onto my Switch system. I've already put it out. But there was certain information once I put the code in that the website told me. So to prepare for the release of the Nintendo Switch Online Sports for yada yada, registrations are limited and may close at any time without advance notice. Also, by registering to participate in the online playtest, you agree not to share information about the online playtest publicly, including the sharing of screenshots or video footage from the game on social media. Now, I'm not going to record it, obviously, but it is funny that you cannot share any information. We did see it on the Twitter that they don't even want you talking about this at all. They don't want you to talk about your experience. They don't want to talk about what you saw or how it went, because it's not necessarily the final detail, the final build of the game, which I understand. There is a thing where it's there should be a caveat to that, where it's this wasn't the final build. This is obviously a play test, so that being able to play with people online can work. But if this is it's a public thing, it's not like they're giving it out to people that are reviewers.
This is 100% going to be violated.
Yeah, and they haven't stated what they're going to do. I'm sure they'll do cease and desist. But I want to talk about it. I want to be able to tell people, because I think this game is going to be really good, and you want that word of mouth. This game is fantastic. Oh my God, playing online is so much fun, and it's intuitive and yada yada, and that's going to get people to play it, right? So stopping that is, again, they're the only company that's out there for video games anyway, or not the only. I mean, some of them are doing it, but they're strictly against it. They're so strict on what you can play on any platform, or essentially what you can talk about, or what you yada. You know what I mean? It's just it's so weird.
Or are they playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, and this is a way to draw in the hype? Hey, you can't talk about it. It's going to make everybody talk about it.
Maybe.
I mean,
we'll keep an eye. I mean, okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I won't be able to tell people what I saw or what whatever. But I will probably go around it and say, you know what? I don't recommend this, or yes, it's reaffirmed that I recommend this. You know what I mean? And we'll go from there. And as soon as I can talk about it, I will.
Yeah, but there's always ways around things like that.
Yeah, Yeah,
Like,
I won't give details, and I won't say certain things. I was like, the soccer part was fantastic, or the bowling. I was just like, I had fun. You know what I mean? So you know which games are going to be available because they've already told you. So chances are I'm going to play all of them. You know,
Yep.
or at least because there's only 3, but I'm going to play all 3, and that'll determine where I land. So.
Yeah, I feel like there's ways around it, and it's 100% going to be violated. Like, so many people are going to do it anyway.
Yeah,
They're not going to be. It's almost not enforceable. That's begging for people to do it.
yeah. So, and like I said, I'm not going to take screenshots. I'm not going to stream it or anything like that. So, but with that said, Nintendo also announced that the Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS stores are set to close in 2023. Now,
About a year and a couple months, right?
Yeah. What's weird is, so the shutdown is going to be a multi-stage process, and they stated on May 23rd, 2022. Right, so just in a couple months, it will no longer be possible to add funds using a credit card to your 3DS or Wii U eShop account, which I find completely weird. Or maybe not so much weird. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to burn those digital code cards that are out there at stores right now, right? But come August 29th, 2022, you won't even be able to use those eShop cards to add funds to it. However, you will still be able to redeem download codes. So you're going to stop that eventually, and then I may just have to go into like GameStop or something like that to buy the game in their system, get a printable code, and then redeem that code. So it's more specific. And then late March 2023, you'll no longer be able to make purchases or download demos or themes and redeem codes and all that. So like it's all done.
Yeah.
So
you're giving people ample time and warning to, hey, use up your fucking store credit.
Right. But it's weird for the credit card thing. Like, let me use my credit card up until you close it. That's what's weird. I'm not going to go buy a code or hunt down a single code. It's one of those things where let me look at the store. Let me go ahead and buy this. Add funds, necessary funds or whatever. I never really just dump $50 on to buy a $20 game. I'm just like, it needed funds only, So
yeah, I guess it is. I mean, they probably don't want people depositing funds and just going about business and then forgetting about it. And then later on, Nintendo stole my $17.38 I had in my, they probably don't want to deal with that.
Right. So, but it's weird. They're not very friendly when it comes to making sure things are easy. But this also goes into game preservations. You know what I mean? We won't be able to get certain games that are digital only.
True.
Yeah, and they don't move that shit over. They're not going to move all that over to the Switch, So
it'll all be gone.
So yeah, I know. So I'm thinking about making a blitz, and
which is kind of the argument against all digital content.
Yeah.
Because now you never really own it. They can just shut it down.
Exactly. So you got that. And it kind of goes in with the movies and TV shows, even with digital content. Like Netflix just announced that they're pulling all of the Marvel shows off their platform. So we can't even go back and watch Daredevil if we want to. I'm going to have to figure out how to get my hands on the physical copies.
Do they even have physical copies of those shows?
I don't know about all 3 seasons, but they did have it for the first one. I did see it, but I was like, I'm not going to buy it because I can stream it anytime I want.
It's a Netflix show on Netflix. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
Oh, wait.
Now it is.
Which doesn't really make any sense to me, but what do I know?
So it's like, okay, do you have Daredevil, the complete collection? You know what I mean? So, because I need to look into that.
Are they moving to Disney Plus? What are they doing with them?
We don't know. There's no word on what they're doing with that. You know what I mean? And we don't know if Disney was able to purchase. They own the rights to the character, but not the show. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I do see it. but I don't know how legit it is. I see season 1, and it does look like the one I saw in stores. The complete series looks like a fan made one. So
yeah, a bunch of burned discs with Sharpie written on one side.
Right, but it's like, okay, is this how? Like, are we gonna have to start, downloading this shit illegally? You know what I mean? It's going back to like the Nintendo thing. This is how Nintendo and how they preserve games and how they don't preserve games and don't move them over. This is how emulation programs start popping up with all their games. Yep. You're not giving us a way to legitimize our owning this. You're constantly taking things away, and we're going to resort to other means.
Yeah, pirating is probably going to become prevalent with whatever is taken away off of streaming platforms that wasn't expected. Which
is really kind of funny. Remember, you wouldn't download a car. Remember, when the internet first came into existence, and we had all those stupid fucking commercials and shit.
You wouldn't download a car, and today it's just like, well, now they're trying to sell me cars as a service.
Right, you're trying to sell me an NFT of a car.
So maybe I will. Actually.
Yeah, exactly. Forever leasing, right?
Like, oh, you wanted power brakes? That's $3.99 a month, sir.
Yeah. So so that's what's happening in the world of Nintendo. Aside from one more is that the Nintendo Switch has outsold the Nintendo Wii, which is a huge thing. When you think about it.
That's not a small achievement. No.
Right. So as of, I know this article was a little bit older and we didn't get a chance to talk about it last time because of the Direct, but the Nintendo Switch has become the fastest home console to sell 100 million units and has now outsold the Nintendo Wii, according to the IGN article. So announced in Nintendo's financial report for the third quarter of the fiscal year ending March 2022, the company revealed that the lifetime sales of the Nintendo Switch is 103.54 million units as of December 31st, 2021.
How many units? 100 and what?
103.54.
Oh, okay. I don't know why, but I thought you said 153.
No, yeah.
Like
not
153,
quite.
Jesus. Okay, so still
it's on its way there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's still a fuck ton. I don't know if it's going to quite get to 150 though. Like there was that huge purchasing spree during the initial shutdowns for COVID.
Yeah.
And people were going fucking bonkers trying to find them. So I don't know if an event like that's going to happen again to drive it.
It will. And I'll tell you, with Zelda coming out this year, or supposedly coming out this year, they've already done like the newer model, which is just like a slightly better battery, and the OLED model, you have that one, right?
Yes.
So if they do what so many people in the industry have been leaking out, suggesting that there's going to be a pro version, maybe not 4K, but a higher resolution, better processor, right? We've talked about this on the show a couple times where like some of these games kind of like chug. And so you have to do something. They've already stated that the Switch is only halfway through its life cycle. So you're going to continue to ride this particular thing through the next half, of its life cycle. I don't quite believe that, especially in like with phone generations, computers, PlayStations, Xboxes, TVs, where like tech gets a little bit better, gets a little bit cheaper. I feel like we're going to get the quote unquote pro version with Zelda. And beyond that, it's not going to be just an exclusive to that edition. And everybody that didn't buy the OLED, and even some people who did, but people like me who are still using like either the launch model or like the one that came right after that had the better battery life, we're going to go for that. And so a lot of us are going to be buying these Switches again, right? I think what really drove the sales was a lot of people bought the Switch Lite because they wanted a handheld one that they could take on their trips and leave the home one with the dock obviously connected to their TV. So it may not, do another 103 million, but I think it'll push it up to what, you thought it was 153 million.
Maybe. I guess we'll see.
So yeah, I thought that was really cool, really interesting, which made me want to think on like the different video games and where they landed on. So again, IGN did this, but they did this like November 8th, and they did update it once the Switch came out over the Wii, right? So the top 5 consoles so far is obviously still PlayStation 2. That's the reigning champion, and it has been since the fucking 90s, 2000. Yeah, exactly. That was estimated, right? These are all kind of estimated numbers at this point. 159 million units. So to your point, the Switch may not make it there because a lot of consoles have tried and have come up short. So it really depends on what you bring to the table, right? Nintendo DS is actually number 2 at 154.02 million. Game Boy / Game Boy Color, again, another Nintendo one at 118.69 million. PlayStation 4.
I still have mine.
Yeah. So, and the PlayStation 4 comes in at 116.9 million. And then number 5 is 103.54 million, which is Nintendo Switch. So it's really cool to see. You know, we have 2 Sony consoles and 3 Nintendo consoles holding on the top 5. So the article on IGN that did it, they also broke it down. Like they're giving us like the top 28, right? So you can check it out. I know, like the Xbox Series X, it's only a year old, or a year and some change, and that's estimated at reaching over 8 million units shipped to stores. That's quickly coming up on the Sega Dreamcast at just over 9 million. So it's a really neat article. If you check out IGN, it's like the PS5, it's like best-selling consoles of all time article, which is really cool to see. So that includes, Xbox Series X, Dreamcast, Sega Saturn. The Wii U is even on there at number 25. Game Gear's on there, the PlayStation Vita, you know what I mean? PlayStation 5 at 22, and so on. So I thought it was really interesting. I like that kind of stuff. But that's about it, really. For
interesting.
games.
It's interesting to look at stuff like that for sure. Like I'm looking here, the original NES was 61.91 million.
Yeah.
But then you have the Xbox Series X and S combined for 8 million, and that's the last on the list. It's the lowest selling console ever so far.
Right. Well, so far it's only been out for a year.
It's been out for a short time, and nobody can fucking find the X. So if it was readily available, they could have easily quadrupled that number.
Oh yeah, I think that they would have at least, they would have beaten their first console at 21 million. I don't know where the 360 landed on this list, but they would have beaten where the Xbox One is estimated at being at 50 million units sold, and that brings it to rank number 14 out of them. It would have definitely beat the Xbox One.
Oh yeah, I just can't imagine it wouldn't have.
So, like the 360 was at 85 million. But moving forward, I don't like Xbox they're in that tricky thing, right? They're trying to get everybody in the ecosystem, but they also are putting their ecosystem on PCs. They're trying to put it on smart TVs. So I don't think like the Xbox consoles will ever rank incredibly high anymore from where the 360 landed because of that ecosystem. So they're more selling the software type thing. Their hardware, I don't think will hit those numbers anymore.
Which has always been more of Microsoft's thing to begin with. Right.
So it'll be interesting to see where it's like the Xbox whatever is like number 26 on the best selling at 6 million units sold. And they're like, and now we're gonna have to start thinking about that, where it's like, oh, that console must suck. No, not necessarily. You know what I mean? Not necessarily. We're not in the age of hardware anymore. So, unless you are, Xbox is clearly not. So So, which will be cool. It's like, yeah, we only sold 6 million for this console, but these are heavy hitters like Halo, whatever, and Forza. They're doing gangbuster numbers. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see. Like, I like those numbers. I like to see those charts. You know, there was one thing on Reddit where they did the pie chart. Have you seen that? Like the motion pie chart where throughout the years it changes. Yeah, like I love that shit.
Yeah, I've seen those with bar charts.
Yeah.
Where they race up the ladder and then they drop back down, and yeah. I have not seen the pie chart, but I've seen the bar graph.
Yeah, I'll see if I can locate it because it's super cool to see. You can tell like the Wii U, I think, did a spike when it initially came out and then quickly vanished within a couple months. So it's like it kind of makes me sad to see it a little bit, you know, because eventually, as time goes on, everything falls away. But to see it go that quick, I was like, fuck. So
everything changes.
Yep, everything changes. Just like the next topic, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So, like I know it's okay. We talked about Murderville a little bit last week. Have you finished it?
Yes.
What did you think?
I liked the earlier episodes, but they relied on the same shtick a few too many times, so that got kind of old. And then the last episode I thought was actually the least funny. Minus, oh no, you know what? No, that was the episode before. So the last episode where Ken Jeong was the trainee.
Yeah,
I thought that was the least funny.
Yeah, that was the last episode.
Yeah. That one, to me, was the least funny because he could not hold his shit together, which I understand it's an improv thing and whatever, but like he was uncontrollably laughing at things that weren't really that funny. And so it kind of ruined it.
Yeah. My, I think, least favorite, which was still good, was, I think, Heartless, number 5.
With Sharon Stone?
Yeah. I was like, it almost seemed like Sharon Stone was trying to be bitchy or a little overly bitchy.
Yeah.
A little
kind
bit. That's what I got off of it. Now, I haven't seen a whole lot with Sharon Stone. I don't watch her interviews. Like, I haven't seen her outside of maybe like 2 movies. So I don't know how she is. So she could have been playing herself perfectly.
Yeah, maybe. I couldn't tell you either. I don't know.
So, but I will say that the one with Kumail Nanjiani was my favorite one.
I think my favorite one was Marshawn Lynch.
His was funny. I thought I was going to hate that episode. His was pretty funny. I liked how he's just like, let's fucking do it. You know? Like, he was game to do it every time. And even at the end, he's like, you had my back the entire time, and that's why I stuck out with you. So it's just that, yeah, he was funnier than I thought he was going to be. Because like a lot of times he's an athlete. He's not an actor, so he's just going to be like, whatever. But
yeah, but I'm a football fan, and so I kind of figured he was going to have a solid showing when I saw him on the guest list because he went to a press conference after a game once. He is notorious for hating those fucking press conferences, but it's in the agreement that the players must make themselves available or else they get fined.
Right.
So he fucking hates those press conferences. So he sat down at the table and somebody asked him a question and his answer was, I'm just here so I don't get fined. And then somebody asked the next question and he leaned forward into the microphone and was just like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. He answered every single question like that for like 10 minutes.
That's funny. I should look that up.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Cool. Well, I mean, I'm glad you saw it. You know what I mean? Like, I do want them to do a second season. And
yeah, there's a lot of people that would be able to be really awesome in that.
Right.
I will say one other thing that I have watched this past week, because they're pretty short. And so every once in a while, I'll have a couple minutes of downtime where I just like hop on YouTube. And there's this thing called Hot Ones.
Oh, yeah.
where this dude is eating progressively spicy chicken wings or cauliflower wings or whatever vegan wings with celebrities, and he asks them one question per wing. There's 10 wings and they get progressively hotter. And it's
I love hot ones.
Dude, it's awesome. I love it a lot. And I just became aware of it a couple weeks ago, and I've watched quite a bit of them. Paul Rudd is by far my favorite.
His is funny. Shit. What's his name? He was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Terry Crews.
Oh, yeah,
his is really funny too.
I saw that one, and I also saw Gordon Ramsay's.
You know what? I saw his, and I've tried the sugar, and it does help.
Oh yeah, for sure. It 100%. If you just put a spoonful of sugar on your tongue,
helps the medicine go down.
And don't fuck with it. Don't do it. Don't chew on it. Don't swish it around. Just let it melt over your tongue. Be patient and give it about 1 minute to 2 minutes, and it will help immensely.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. I love hot ones. I've actually gone back. I haven't watched all of them, especially recent ones, but I'll go through and I try to watch. I've watched them from the beginning, and they've gotten progressively better as the seasons go on.
Of course.
But it was cool. I really do like hot ones. My
favorite that wasn't intended to be watched as a pair per se. But if you watch them, you need to watch them back to back, and you need to watch Dax Shepard and then watch Kristen Bell's.
Okay, I can't remember if I saw them, if I saw those ones.
Yeah, because I say that because Dax Shepard did it first, and then like 2 years later, Kristen Bell did it, and they refer to Dax Shepard's because they're married,
right?
So they refer back to his interview at one point. Right toward the end, it's pretty funny.
Okay.
So, and they're good, legitimately good interviews. So
I have not seen those ones. I will watch those. And I did see that they did Tom Holland like a couple months back.
That one's not bad.
And I do want to see that one. But
I was kind of disappointed with Sebastian Stan's, which I think is the most recent one, actually, just like a week ago. That one was kind of boring, but if anybody has the opportunity, go ahead and go watch that, because it disarms the person he's interviewing.
It does.
It disarms the celebrity. It puts them in a position that they're not familiar with. I mean, they go around and answer so many fucking questions all the time that they can, they're professionals. But when they put 3 million plus Scovilles on their tongue, they have a hard time focusing and responding, and they just talk, and I like it a lot.
The Nick Offerman one was really funny too.
That's one of the ones I haven't watched yet. It's on the list.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. So, I mean, speaking of TV shows, so last week we talked about during the Q&A with DNA, what my favorite reality show was.
Yes.
And as soon as I got off here, and I brought that up to Mary, she busted my balls really fucking hard. She's like, you haven't watched like the shows that you mentioned that I told her about, or that I mentioned. She's like, you haven't watched those in quite some time. You know what show you won't fucking stop watching is Wipeout or Impractical Jokers. So and it makes me laugh because I'm actually doing a run through of Impractical Jokers again. Even when we were recording that show, I had watched it earlier in that day, and it totally fucking spaced my brain.
Amateur hour.
So I'd like to fix that issue from last week. Impractical Jokers is my favorite reality show.
Okay, then. Noted. That's our shortened Q&A with DNA this week.
Yeah, because Dan has a hard out, and we're coming up to it, so we're not going to be doing the Q&A with DNA this week. I will say there's so speaking of Tom Holland, I am actually seeing Uncharted tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah. We're going to be seeing it in theaters because unfortunately, I want to be able to see it opening weekend to support it. Because one, it's a video game movie. Two, I really like Tom Holland and I want to be able to support it. I'm not expecting Uncharted to be by any means a Golden Globe or whatever fucking award winning movie. You know what I mean? But when like just like Sonic the Hedgehog, which have you seen by the way?
Not yet.
Oh Jesus, man, get on that. I want it's a video game movie, and I like the property, and I want to support it, and I like the actors. You know, I like Marky Mark, right? I like Tom Holland a lot, so I want to be able to support it and hopefully push it to where like even if we don't get a sequel necessarily, like at least it's not like a flop.
Sure.
You know. So we will be seeing that. It is fucking ridiculous the cost of these goddamn tickets. For 2 tickets, I mean, we're seeing it in Dolby Cinema, but Jesus, man, for 2 tickets, it's fucking $50.
Whoa.
Yeah, one, that's pricey for a fucking rundown AMC. Because when I walk in there, your tickets feel like fucking recycled paper. For one, you don't have that like that hard cardstock ticket feel anymore. If you were to get physical tickets, 2, you're gouging everybody's asshole. You know, at the concession stands, which is insane all on its own. And it looks dirty all the time.
You don't want to pay $14 for a small box of M&Ms?
If that looks like somebody fucking wiped their snot on the box, no. Dude, like, it's so gross, these theaters. And, like, it's the movie experience, you know, fuck off.
The theater by me, which is not an AMC, to be fair, it's Harkins, is always really nice.
Yeah. If Harkins had the Dolby, I would prefer to go to Harkins. AMC's getting really gross.
So, okay, I know it's a little bit of a drive. I-10 and Pebble Creek Parkway, there is the largest movie screen in Arizona, and it's a Harkins.
It's IMAX, right?
I think it might be a little bit bigger than IMAX.
Well, like, is the theater itself like IMAX? Or because I want to go for like the sound and the visuals.
It is not. It's not IMAX brand. It is Cine One, and they have Dolby Atmos.
Oh, well then I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay. So so they did the trailer. I mean, obviously you watched the football game, correct?
Of course.
Did you see the trailer for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness?
I did.
Fuck. So I'm going to see if we can go out there then. I need you to text it to me so I remember, but we'll look to see if we can see the movie there.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee it'll be on that screen.
I'm assuming it's going to be a moneymaker, so they want it. But I don't mind going out there if it's going to be like nice. You know what I mean? You guys are charging way too much money for fucking garbage. For a garbage experience.
I mean, as long as you don't go at like Friday or Saturday at 7 p.m. prime time, it shouldn't be too bad. I went to go see, what was the last movie I went to go see? Oh, Spider-Man. I saw Spider-Man on that screen. And you know what? If you give me like a half a second, I can tell you what the price was I paid for the ticket because I still have the ticket. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
1 second. Here we go. All right. But I mean, well, like what I'm essentially saying is like, and it could be the location I go to is attached to the mall, but it just looks gross. Like it looks gross, you know. Things don't look nice. They don't look like they're being cleaned. And I've gone like when they open in the morning. You know, when we saw Spider-Man, we saw it pretty early in the morning. Like I want to, you know, there's been 1 or 2 shows, but it shouldn't look that dirty. And it's not even just the theater itself. It's like the concession stand. Like the glass looks gross. The soda machines look gross. It just like I understand. Like you should. What I don't understand is that during the pandemic, that we're still in the middle of, when you had to shut down, why didn't you clean your fucking theater?
Right.
You just let it sit there. It just looks like it's a daycare, and all these kids are running around just wiping their fucking snot everywhere.
Okay, so I saw it on Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. and it was $14. I had a couple dollars off because they have military discount. And I have a military ID, so take that for what it is. But it's not 25.
Right.
It was 14 after that small discount.
Yeah, and I understand I'm going to pay a little bit more for that particular, like the Dolby Atmos and shit like that, like the premium. It was no different than like, are you going to see the movie regular or are you going to see an IMAX? I always paid a little bit extra to go see IMAX, of course, but like, holy shit, man, like $50. I mean, that's what I expected for like if we were taking the kids.
I saw John Wick there, May 20th of 2019 at 1 p.m. and it was $12.50 for that theater.
Wow.
So it's now outrageously priced.
Yeah.
So
yeah, send me a text. I'll check out, see if I can get tickets to the Multiverse of Madness out there, and we'll make it a trip. But anyway, so like we're gonna see Uncharted. I am looking forward to it. I saw the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 trailer, the second trailer. That looks so. I'm so fucking excited, man. Like, I'm very excited to see this movie, and they've already announced that they're going to be doing a Knuckles spin-off movie.
Oh yeah,
and today I saw what's his name, Schwartz. Oh my god, I forget his actual name, but the guy who does the voice acting for Sonic in the movie.
Yeah,
he was wearing.
Schwartzman? That's only Schwartz I can think of.
No.
Okay. I know that sounds ridiculous, but you said it, and that's the first thing that came to my mind, like a Rorschach test.
Right. No, it's let me see. I'm looking it up real quick. So it is Ben Schwartz. Okay. Right? He's the guy who plays in Parks and Rec. He's John Ralphio.
Got it.
Right? So I saw like a Twitter post of his today. He's wearing this like they look like clown shoes, right? The size, right? But they're Sonic's shoes, and he's looking at the watch, and he just has 3 above it. So he's essentially announced that they're going to be doing a Sonic 3 already.
Interesting. So,
dude, I'm so fucking stoked for this goddamn series. It's so fun. Like when we saw Sonic the Hedgehog in the theaters initially, I went and saw it because I wanted to support the movie, like I'm doing with Uncharted, because they listened to fan expectations of how Sonic looked visually. Right. So they fixed it, and I wanted to support that. You guys listen to us for that, right? I know listening to fans can be a little tricky because we don't know what we want. But you changed it. He looked like Sonic after your change. I wanted to support that, so I went and saw it. I loved it. Then I went and saw it again, and I took Mary. You got to watch this fucking movie. It's so good. She loved it. Then I was like, we're fucking bringing the kids. So we saw that movie 3 times in theater. You know what I mean? So it's so good, man. And I am going to see this one in theater, even if I have to go to the drive-in for this particular one. But I would like to see it multiple times. I'll buy it when it comes out. I'm going to see the Knuckles movie. I'm going to see Sonic 3. I'm fucking stoked for this series. Like, it's a good video game movie, you know?
Okay, noted. When I get the chance to see it, I'll see it.
And then so they did a Jurassic World Dominion trailer. The first trailer came out. It looks really good.
Jurassic Park meets Jurassic World.
Right? Yeah, exactly. They're bringing the original cast back. I think I'm going to do like a run through of the Jurassic Park movies before this one comes out, just so I can refresh myself. Obviously, I know 1 and 2. Yeah.
But, kids are crazy for dinosaurs. We're reading about them constantly, so that might be a good movie to get them in on.
Yeah, start with the first one, have them go through.
Even that shit holds up, man. That shit holds up. Still looks good.
Yeah, it does. So the third one might be a little stretch. I mean, it wasn't the best one, but it was still more Jurassic Park. You know what I mean? If you take it for what it is, which is more, I'm in it. So I'm gonna watch all of them. I'm gonna watch 1, 2, 3, World. The second one. So this is actually the third one in the Jurassic World trilogy.
Yep.
They said it ends this particular trilogy, but they plan on making another one after that, like another set.
Of course.
But
why wouldn't they? It makes money.
Right? But we'll see if they ever stream it day and date. I know you're going to be having to jump off here shortly, but Warner Brothers is being sued for putting Matrix Resurrections on HBO Max to stream day and date. Village Roadshow is essentially stating that HBO sabotaged their box office.
Yep, Hollywood accounting can make numbers say anything. So
yeah.
who's going to be able to hire the better Hollywood accountants?
Right. But you know what? Like, I wouldn't have seen this in theater, so it wouldn't have mattered. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
you aren't getting my money regardless.
Did I go see it in I can't remember if I saw it in theater.
I thought you streamed it.
Yeah, I think I did. Because I don't have the ticket in my book in front of me.
Yeah. So, but we're going to be doing a Patreon exclusive. If anybody wants to go over to Dandy Digital or patreon.com/Dandy Digital and start donating there. Dan, we'll all put in and go for the Lord of the Rings movie and video game rights. It's currently up for sale for $2 billion.
Yep.
So we're starting our campaign yesterday.
Yes. And if you help us, we'll send out a special thank you.
And everybody who helped with that, we'll send out free movie tickets.
That's right. Goddamn,
you get one ticket if your name is on our list when we secure and make our first movie for the new Lord of the Rings.
Yep, you help us do that. And if for some reason we're not able to secure those rights with the $2 billion you help us raise, we will buy an NFL team.
We will be called the Dandy the something Dandy. You know what I mean?
And if we end up with the NFL team, you will get a voucher for 20% off of one ticket.
Yep.
For a preseason game. Let's not get crazy.
Oh yeah. We don't even know if we're going to be good to get out of preseason. With that expected $2 billion price tag, Amazon is first in line to purchase it, which makes sense because they are doing the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, which the trailer looked actually pretty neat for their TV show that they showed.
Some people that are complaining about how bad it looks for being like $1 billion budget.
Yeah, I mean, it's also a TV show done by Amazon. It's not a movie company that's, you know what I mean? But take it with a grain of salt. I actually liked it. I am going to watch it. You know what I mean? I'm not the movie buff who's going to go in there and bitch about, like her hair didn't look that way or, you know what I mean? Whatever. People are going to complain that we're not going to see Gandalf, even though it makes no fucking sense for him to be there.
Yeah, because when is this taking place? Like,
it takes place during the Second Age, and it's when the rings came to be. So it's like the fall of Sauron and all that.
Yeah. Why would he be there?
Exactly. But
isn't it 3,000 years then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, what is he? He was there, right?
He was, but I think they have somebody else. Because in the trailer, it looked like they have somebody else playing that particular character, which looks a little bit younger.
Oh,
you know what I mean? You can't. 3,000 years in the past, while you're still an elf, you're still gonna look younger. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, but yeah, it looks neat, man. So I'm excited for it.
When does it come out?
Have
they said yet?
Yeah, I think it's April.
April, okay. Not far away at all, then.
No. Yeah, I want to say April. It was in the trailer, and I totally spaced that. So my apologies on there. But I want to say April. April is like something that's stuck in my brain.
Okay, then I'll count April.
But anyway, I think that's it, right? Because we got to get you out of here.
Yep. We need to get to that Boba Fett. We need to really dive deep and talk about that.
Next week we'll talk about it.
That sounds good. We'll put it at the top of the list for our entertainment and movies portion of the show.
Next week it'll be a spoiler cast. So whether you've seen it or not, I'm going to fucking go into it.
Yep, that'll be item number 1 in this section.
Hell yeah.
I know you've been itching.
But yeah, I got a cream for that though. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been Jabberbox episode 31. Thank you so much for joining us. And don't forget that we post each and every week about whatever it is we want to jabber about. If you like that, please join us over on patreon.com/dandydigital and help us get that Lord of the Rings rights. And you can also write in and be part of the show and get the episodes early. If you have no bucks to toss our way, that's just dandy. Please find us and subscribe to us on YouTube at any of your favorite podcast services. Give us a good rating. Share it with your friends. Help us grow the show into something bigger and better. Until next time, we love you.
Ditto.